Mulligan, and hello, it's Fo. We're going to go back in with our last game of our first session in Magic Arena. I'm going to chain on the first game of our second session in Magic Arena because we continue with dinosaurs in both. Again, we're not against rank 1s, so we almost expect to get pummeled. One lander, can't keep that. All the cards being green and our land being red, that's no use whatsoever. Hopefully we can get another hand with something to play. Waiting on our opponent making a decision here. We don't get to see our mulligan hand until they've decided whether they want to mulligan as well. Okay, here we go. So our 6 looks fine. What we got on top? We've got a forest on top. We'll leave that on top, it seems fine. We've got commune with dinosaurs for turn 2. We've got our 4 drop and a 5 drop. See if we can pick up maybe one of our raptors for a turn 3 play. Opponent plays an island. Okay, so we play commune with dinosaurs. Got a 4 drop. Is the only dinosaur or another land. Not really interested in the land, so we'll have another 4 drop. At least we have 4 land, so we'll get to play again. So blue and green usually means merfolk. Okay, merfolk it is. Opponent reveals a merfolk, using their merfolk's ability to draw a card. Probably another merfolk. The merfolk are small, but some of them are unblockable and they have various abilities that can turn them into a formidable army. Much like the cats, they shouldn't really beat dinosaurs, but depends on card advantage and board advantage. I presume the opponent's going to be attacking us, but they're certainly taking their time about the decisions. Okay, land. And the merfolk that explores, that's fine. They got more exploring merfolk coming. Okay, where were you last turn? Never mind. So we'll get this one out first. Hopefully stop our opponent swinging wildly at us and reducing our life total too quickly. We got 2 drop with 2 drops, so they're building their army twice as fast as we are, but like I say, their army should be smaller. They shouldn't be able to attack through a 4-4. They're fairly chaining their creatures, so hopefully when we're rank 4, all our plays will be just as smooth as this. Kinda want to get out the banner. That way Whenever we cast a dinosaur after this, we get to draw a card to replace it. Hopefully we can keep up with our opponent's card draws. We're certainly on the defense here. I don't think we can make any wild attacks. Right now they don't have any evasive creatures that can fly over the top or slide right past, so things are okay for the moment. If our opponent attacks us, they're going to lose a creature every turn. They still could, but it doesn't look like they're going to. The only removal they're likely to have is either an unsummon to bounce our creature back to hand, or a Savage Stomp to try and have a fight with one of their creatures with ours. But our creatures will be too big for that, so Savage Stomp or that kind of effect, Hunt the Weak, won't be good here. It looks like it's just all creatures on the top of their deck. Because they're leaving the cards on top, they know that their creatures are going to get the +1/+1 counters. So it's certainly a very strong play from our opponent. Could run out the 5/5 Trample Haste, but I think it's safer to do this. Now whenever this guy takes damage, we can take out one of our opponent's creatures. We also drew our removal for 5 points of damage, so still hanging on in there. Our opponent is even less incentivized to attack in because of the enrage trigger on our dinosaur. It's drawn a million cards. Cast a million creatures. Now we're in real trouble. So that's an enchantment that they have that says whenever they lay a merfolk, they get a free merfolk token, a 1/1. And they can go wide, go around us. If they have enough attacking creatures, we simply can't block them all. They could make one big swing and kill us. But hopefully we'll avoid that if we can get out a decent blocking army fast enough. Unfortunately the Drover isn't a dinosaur, so we don't get a free card off of that. We've got our Thundering Spine back in hand, and a banner in play, so our team are all buffed. They'll be double buffed when we get out our spine back. Opponent surely here is just going to cast the Deep Root Waters enchantment and then lay another merfolk. Don't know what else they're contemplating. Yep, here comes the enchantment. Then a merfolk, yes. Savage Stomp is good. We can play it on our enraged creature. That'll get rid of 2 people. 2 merfolks. Get out our 5/5 Trample Haste. Can draw us a card, leave us 1 left over at Savage Stomp. Got Burning Suns as well, that's good. we go. Fight kills the creature. And the trigger will kill another one. Getting better. If we can do that a few more times, we can get down to perhaps even numbers. And then our army will be better than our opponent's army. Another merfolk, another token. Do have enchantment removal in the form of Ancient Brontodon. If we pick him up, we'll definitely be sacrificing him to destroy that enchantment. Raptors finally showing up. I think I want to continue on the burning plan though. Cast him, draw a card, land, 3 damage to our opponent and one of their creatures. Try and find a good one. Three, 2 seems fine. Again, swinging in isn't in our best interests. We might get some damage through. We might kill off a few blockers, but if they let it all through and it's not lethal, we could be killed on the backswing. Even now our opponent has so many 1/1 tokens. Starting to look bad for us. But they need a few merfolk lords before they could swing in for lethal, I think. Perhaps our opponent is taking time to try and do some maths. And think about how their creatures would potentially be blocked. How much damage they could get through. Well, land's not going to do it. Hopefully they're going to run out of cards and just be playing from the top of their deck. That'd be beneficial. Surely they can play the last card in their hand, but I guess not. If it's a land, they can't play it. Normally the games don't go on this long because our opponent wouldn't be thinking about it this much. Don't think they're trying to navigate a complicated combination in their mind. I think they're just contemplating, should I swing in? What is the point that I swing in? And never is hopefully going to be the answer. But we are on the defense, you know, we've been here since the beginning. They're certainly the aggressor, despite not really having swung in. Field of Ruin can get rid of one of their lands. At this point in the game, it's not very helpful. Okay, get the raptors out, get to draw a card. Our opponent is thinking about letting us draw a card, I don't know. Don't know what else they could have in their hand. Could have a counter spell, I suppose, but considering we saw most of the cards coming from the top of their deck and they were all creatures, don't think there's going to be many non-creature spells in their deck, apart from that enchantment, probably 4 copies of. So we draw a land, it's not the best, but suppose we can play this. Take out one of the 3/2s. We'd prefer a more obvious target. Just firing it off at anyone doesn't seem like the wisest of plays, but kind of doing everything we can to avoid them attacking in. Maybe the card in our opponent's hand is a card that bounces a creature back to hand, and they're contemplating whether they bounce their own creature away to avoid the damage. Well, looks like they do nothing to let it all happen anyway. Oh, I'd love to attack. No, not yet. If we can get our Forerunner out, and then ping all the creatures for 1, we could deal with all the tokens in 1 move. If we could chain together a couple of pings and do everything 2 damage, then I reckon we could clear away our opponent's board. It's just not coming. Even Shake the Foundations would do a good job, clearing away most of our opponent's board. So we've got the Brontodon, and get rid of the enchantment. I'm keen. We don't have enough mana to cast it and do it this turn. Draw Commune. Suppose we could attack with just the trample creature. Well, I just like through. That worries me that they're gonna choose now for their moment. Oh, of course, it's the turn they pick up the Merfolk Lord and pump their entire team. The whole army goes up, and this could be our doom. Oh, double. Okay, double Merfolk Mistbender. The entire team gets +2/+2. So all those rubbishy 1/1s are now 3/3s. This is the moment. We've got 1 tapped creature. Yep, here they come. Right, I don't know the maths. We're probably just dead. But we can try and make effective blocks. Try and block the biggest guys. Try and use our enrage triggers to kill other guys. It's gonna be close. But we were behind from the start. Our deck just is quite slow in comparison to theirs, you know. Took our deck too long to get going, you know. But we're gonna make these blocks. See if we can stop as much of this attack as possible. Hopefully they're just swinging and hoping for the best and they haven't done the maths. If they'd done the maths and they've got us beat anyway, regardless of how we block, then good on them, well done. Just gonna make the best blocks and hope for the best, which is all we can really do here. We didn't really do anything wrong. We just got lucky with those draws. Double Mistbender, and we've been defeated. So that was the last game in the first session, and then I gave it a couple of days so that the player rewards could refresh, because we're really trying to work our way up to getting enough gold to get some more packs. We're sort of 3/4 there on getting another pack with the gold that we've got, and we're not using a green and white deck to get this 300 coins. So I gave it a couple of days, and then came back for the start of the second session to get these rewards refreshed, so then maybe we can get a couple of extra golden coins and get up to that 1,000 mark. So here's the start of session 2. This is the second time going into the game after a couple of days, so that our daily rewards, our conditions for getting gold coins, have reset a little bit. We've got a couple more challenges that we can do, and one of them is just attacking with creatures, which I think we can do. After this game, we're going to move on and try the green and white cat deck. Quite familiar with the cards in there. quite like cat tribals, so we'll give that a go. At least we're not up against rank 4 again. This is a mulligan hand, but I clicked the wrong button and clicked keep when I really wanted to mulligan to try and get a land, try and get a forest. But that's what happens when you're new to the controls. Now I've just got to hope for a forest, really. You would never want to start with 2 mountains because all the cards that get you more land are green. The Drover taps for 1 of any colour, but he's green to cast. If we draw nothing but mountains, we'll be in bad shape. We've got no turn 3 play, no turn 2 play, you know. It's green. Okay. So we've got to discard, that's fine. We'll discard these massive things that we won't get around to casting. Well, we can cast him. It's going to make our dinosaurs a bit cheaper, but doesn't make the Forerunner any cheaper because he's not a dinosaur himself. And we generally need green. So what happens? It's a lesson in mulliganing. If you're playing a 2-coloured deck, ideally you want 1 of each of the lands in your opening hand. Or if your deck is more 1 colour than the other, you want that land in your opening hand. Specifically. Like if we had 2 forests in our opening hand, it would be a lot more useful than 2 mountains. We could have cast the raptors and savage stomped it to go and get a mountain if we really needed it. If we had 3 forests by this stage, you know, we'd be in far better shape. So it's just giving us raptors to insult us. Like, you should have mulliganed, you should have taken green. Here's your punishment. I'd like to think we'd see a green land after all these card draws and all these turns. What a beautiful combination. I really like our opponent's deck here. They're playing a mill deck of sorts. They have Navigator's Ruin, which is a sort of standard relevant Sphinx's tutelage replacement. It's an enchantment that mills you cards. When one of their creatures attacks, then at the end of the turn we mill 4 cards. But they need to have creatures out to do that. Here we go. Creature that can't be blocked as well isn't helpful. So they're definitely attacking every turn. Every turn that they attack, we're going to mill 8. So if they mill us out, I'm quite happy. I quite like the mill win condition. We should have mulliganed the opening hand, so it's their own fault. So they have trials and cartouches as well, which work quite well together as a pairing. Opponent's just going to make us sacrifice everything we take out. Sad but true. Nah, still no forest. Yeah, we've got no hope. We're at the point of discarding to hand size because we've got 8 cards in our hand at the end of our turn. Opponent just gets to do whatever they want, you know, they're having a great time. They're a 3rd Navigator's Ruin, so they attack us, and then at the end of turn, we're going to mill 8, and we're going to mill 12. It's going to be bad. So there goes all our green sources of land, probably. Another raptors. Yeah, we love the raptors, but only when we have a forest. I had dreams of getting a land in the next couple of turns and getting out the Forerunner at very least, but it's not happening. And this is an example of how you can get punished if you keep a bad hand. If you keep a hand and you think, yeah, this hand would be good if we pick up a basic land, you know, if we pick up a forest, this hand will be fine. You know, that's not the kind of hands that you want to keep, because guaranteed there are no forests on the top of your deck for at least 12 cards, you know. Mulligan your opening hand is an important strategy in Magic. keeping every hand that you draw like, oh, this is good enough, you know, and just playing is suboptimal. There are times where you might have 2 land and a couple of things that you can do for 2 mana in the first couple of turns, but it's still not a good hand to keep, you know? It depends on the deck you're playing. Opponent is letting us draw 7 cards. I think they feel sorry for us. And here's all the lands stuck together. So we've lost because we're so close to the end of our deck. This is going to mill us out entirely and we're going to lose. But it was fine. I don't mind losing to a mill strategy, even given the opponent the equivalent of the GGs. And that's going to be us for today. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and we're going to switch over to playing with the green and white cats deck. We're going to give that a go. And we should be in line to get our gold coins and open a few more packs. So until then, good luck in your games of Magic, and we'll see you soon.